Hey guys, YouTube Boy 100 here. Now with my review of the number 2 SummerSlam on my list, which is SummerSlam 2000. And I just finished watching the show, and this show was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it did start off kind of slow, but then, yeah, in like the second half of the show, it was really, really awesome. So yeah, let me just get right into it. Show kicked off with a six-man tag team match, which was Right to Censor, Steven Richards, Bull Buchanan, and the Godfather versus Too Cool, Sky Too Hottie, Grandmaster Sexy, and Rikishi. Rikishi was escorted by two of the Godfather's former ladies. One of them was actually Victoria. Yeah, and this was just fine for what it was. I guess. Yeah, it was. It wasn't really that long, but yeah, it was just fine for what it was. Yeah, and yeah, no, there wasn't really too much horrible stuff in the match, but yeah. And yeah, in the match, at one point, all three members of Right to Censor were in a corner, and Ricky, all Too Cool, one member each, hit one of them. Yeah, and when Rikishi came in, he nailed Steven Richards. I, I think Bull Buchanan stopped him before he could do the Stinkface. And then Sky Too Hottie tried to do the worm, but as he was doing the WORM hopping, Steven Richards got the steam kick on Sky Too Hottie and pinned him, and Right to Censor won. So yeah, I give that about 2 stars. And then after this, we got Road Dogg versus X-Pac. Yeah, this was not really good at all. Yeah, and plus it was really short too, and not really anything happened. Yeah. Yeah, this was just kind of, yeah, this was nothing. And yeah, at the end of this match, Road Dogg tried to do his finisher on X-Pac, but X-Pac gave Road Dogg a low blow and an X-Factor and pinned him, and X-Pac won. So yeah, I give that 1 star. And then after this, we got the mixed tag team match for the Intercontinental Championship. Venis, who was the Intercontinental Champion, and Trish Stratus versus Eddie Guerrero and Chyna. Yeah, this was okay. Yeah, 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 it was mostly like Venis being in the match for team, and yeah, Eddie Guerrero and Chyna were tagging in and tagging out. Yeah, and then Trish wanted to have some of Eddie Guerrero, and yeah, she got tagged in to face Eddie, and then eventually Eddie tagged in Chyna. Yeah, Chyna basically just rammed through Trish, and then she pinned her, and Chyna won the Intercontinental title. So yeah, that was alright. I give that about 2.25. Then after this was Tazz versus Lawler. Mm. Yeah, yeah, this didn't really last too long either. Most of this match, it was really Tazz dominating Lawler, yeah, and Tazz kept calling out JR. He kept like taunting him. And then at the end of the match, Tazz got the Tazz mission in on Lawler, and then JR nailed Tazz with his candy jar. And then, yeah, that allowed Lawler to pin Tazz and win. Yeah, I give that a star and a half. Yeah, so, yeah, things did start off kind of slow, but here's where things turned the corner. Next up was the Hardcore Championship match, Shane McMahon defending against Steve Blackman. This was awesome. Yeah, it was, for the first several minutes of the match, Steve Blackman was basically just beating the hell out of Shane. And yeah, he was just using so many different weapons on Shane, like trash cans and trash can lids and sticks and leather straps, yeah. Then Tess and Albert came down and they were attacking Steve Blackman. They were helping Shane. Then it got into the aisleway. And then Steve Blackman took out Test and Albert. And then he was going after Shane. Shane was climbing up a piece of the SummerSlam stage, and Steve Blackman was just following him. And Steve Blackman then was nailing Shane with a kendo stick several times, and then Shane McMahon just then eventually just fell off and just went down through some wood in the entranceway. And then Steve Blackman then dropped an elbow on Shane and pinned him for the win. And yeah, it was a truly holy shit moment when Shane fell from the staging thing. So yeah, that was a pretty good match right there. I give that about 3.5 stars. And then after this, we got the 2 out of 3 falls match. Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. This was a very good match right here. Yeah. And early on, both guys were fighting in a corner of the ring, and the referee was trying to step in between them, and then all 3 of them just fell right out of the ring. Yeah. And then Chris Benoit got a crossface on Chris Jericho, and then Chris Jericho eventually tapped out, and Benoit won the first fall. And Chris Benoit put the crossface on again. Jericho was able to get to the ropes. Then Jericho at one point was hanging upside down from a corner of the ring, and Benoit was attacking him some more. And then eventually, Chris Jericho got the walls of Jericho in on Chris Benoit. And Chris Benoit then tapped out to that, and then Chris Jericho won the second fall. And then Chris Jericho gave like a, was it a superplex? Yeah, it was something from the top turnbuckle. Yeah, it looked like Jericho hurt his neck or something. Yeah. Then Chris Jericho at the end tried to go for a roll up, Benoit then reversed it, and he got a roll up on Chris Jericho with holding onto the rope, and then Chris Benoit was able to pin Jericho and win the match. Yeah, so that was a good match right there, 3 3/4. And then next up was the TLC match for the Tag Team Championship. Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boyz versus the Hardy Boyz. This was awesome right here. Yeah, this was not as good as their TLC 2 match at WrestleMania 17, but this was still a very great match right here, yeah. I don't think it has much spots as the WrestleMania 17 match, but there were still a lot of really awesome spots in the match. Yeah. When the match started, Edge and Christian got some chairs and were trying to attack the Hardy Boyz, but the Hardy Boyz fought them off, and the Hardy Boyz nailed all Bubba, Devon, Edge, and Christian with the chairs. Yeah. Then at one point, like, Devon and Jeff Hardy, I think it was Jeff Hardy, yeah, they were on ladders next to each other. And then Edge came up and he just like pulled them off you. And at one point while Jeff Hardy was on the ladder, I think it was either Edge or Christian pulled them off, and Jeff Hardy he landed on his ass on one ladder, and then while Matt Hardy was just like standing over it, the ladder then like went up into Matt Hardy's face. And then while I think it was Bubba Ray Dudley was on a table that was next to another table, Jeff Hardy was on top of a ladder, and he tried to go for a swanton, but Bubba Ray moved out of the way, and Jeff Hardy just went through both tables. And the Dudley Boyz at one point set 2 tables on top of 2 other tables like they did at WrestleMania 17. Yeah. And while Bubba Ray at one point was on a ladder, Edge and Christian both tipped over the ladder, and Bubba Ray went flying through those 4 tables, but 1 table didn't break, just 3 of them did. Yeah, and then at one point Matt Hardy was on a ladder, and then Lita came down to ringside, and then Devon, he like tipped the ladder back, and Matt Hardy went flying back through another table, 2 tables actually, Then Edge speared Lita, and it looked like the back of Lita's head might have hit a ladder. I'm not sure if it did or not. And then both Jeff and Devon were hanging from the belts. Yeah, the ladder was moved out of the way. And I think Jeff eventually kicked Devon off. Then Edge and Christian nailed Jeff in the ribs with the ladder, and then Jeff fell off. Yeah. And then at the end of the match, Edge and Christian were able to get the tag team titles, and they won the match. Yeah, so yeah, really good. 4 3/4. Then next up was the Thong Stinkface match, the Cat versus Terri. Yeah, blah, blah. This sucked. Yeah, this was just like their WrestleMania 16 match. Yeah, this just sucked. I mean, the wrestling here was so freaking sloppy. Yeah, everything looked so fake here, yeah. And yeah, the Cat gave Terri the Stinkface at the end of the match. Yeah, and the Cat won. Dud. And then next up was the Undertaker versus Kane. Good God. This was not very good at all. Yeah, I don't know if this match even officially started. Yeah, I mean, the bell did ring while they were fighting each other in the aisleway, but yeah, they were just acting like the match didn't officially start. Because they were hitting each other with like weapons and giving each other low blows, and there was no DQ calls. Yeah, this was just not good. Yeah, this wasn't even as good as their WrestleMania 20 match. Yeah, I mean, I said in my WrestleMania 20 review that their match there was pretty much what I was expecting. This, I was actually expecting a lot. And yeah, they just did this. Ugh. Yeah, and The Undertaker was trying to rip off Kane's mask in this match, if you want to call this a match. Yeah, and then, yeah, at the end of this brawl, Undertaker then did rip Kane's mask off, but yeah, Kane's hair was covering up his face so we couldn't see it. So yeah, I did that. I don't even know if I can rate this thing. I'm just gonna go like half a star on here. And then we got the main event, the triple threat no disqualification match for the WWF Championship. The Rock defending against Triple H and Kurt Angle. Yeah, before this match started, before The Rock even came down, Kurt Angle and Triple H were brawling around the ring, yeah. And yeah, we all know what happened here. There was the botch with the announce table, the pedigree. Yeah, the table gave up before Triple H could even get the pedigree on. And Kurt Angle was just, you could just see he was hurt. Yeah, and yeah, Kurt Angle couldn't compete in the majority of this match. And then The Rock came out, yeah. And like I said, for most of this match it was really just Rock and Triple H. Yeah. Yeah, Triple H tried to pull Kurt Angle back as he was like being stretchered out. Yeah, he was pulling Kurt Angle back, gave him a couple of shots to his head. And then Kurt Angle then eventually did get stretchered to the back. Yeah, and this was a really good triple threat match. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good wrestling here and a lot of good spots and counters. Yeah, at one point, Stephanie tried to hit The Rock with the WWF title, but The Rock ducked and Stephanie accidentally hit Triple H. Yeah. Yeah, this was just really good, yeah. Rock tried to do a rock bottom at one point, but Triple H countered into a neck breaker. Yeah, and then, like, at the last 10 minutes of the match, Kurt Angle then came back, and he pulled Triple H off of The Rock as he was trying to pin him. Then Kurt Angle then pulled Triple H pulled The Rock off of Kurt Angle at one point, yeah. And, yeah, at the end of this match, Triple H was meaning to punch Kurt Angle in the face or something, but Kurt Angle ducked, and Triple H accidentally hit Stephanie, and Stephanie got knocked out. Oh, and then, what was it, I think, what happened? was I think like Kurt Angle hit Triple H with the Angle Slam or something. Yeah, but The Rock got rid of Kurt Angle and then gave Triple H a People's Elbow, and The Rock wins and retains the title. So yeah, it was a good match. I give it about, yeah, I'm debating whether or not to give it like 3 3/4 or 4 stars. You'll find what my rating is down in the description box. Overall, the show, I give it a 9 out of 10. A lot of good stuff on here. You're like Rock, Triple H Angle, TLC match, Jericho Benoit, Shane and Steve Blackman. And yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of really good stuff and a lot of really memorable stuff on the show. Yeah, so that's it for my review of SummerSlam 2000, which is number 2 on my list. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.